Okay, y'all. Today we're making homemade bread. For this recipe, you're going to need 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and then you're going to need a 1/2 cup of sugar separately, 1 tablespoon of salt, a 1/2 cup of oil, and 9 cups of all-purpose flour. And you're in for a treat because today you're going to find out how you can do so many things wrong and it still turns out right. So, just before we get started, I want to share this product with you, which is yeast that we will be using. Be sure not to use one or get one that says it's for bread machines or fast, quick rising or something like that. Just get the original active dry yeast. And you might want to use Crisco, or you can just use oil for your pans later. Okay, to get started, I've got to activate my yeast. So I put the yeast in a bowl along with the 1 teaspoon of sugar and a cup of warm water. Now, not hot water, but warm to the touch. Nice, comfortable warm is all you need. Then you'll just sit it to the side while you do other things, and you'll notice that it'll start having this little bubble, a little foamy look or what have you. It'll start to go through some changes, and that just means that it is alive. Yes, alive. You should have your flour in a separate bowl, and to that you're going to add the 1/2 cup of sugar, the tablespoon of salt. You're going to mix that and then add your yeast mixture and 3 cups of water along with a 1/2 cup of oil, and give it a stir. Now at this point, I just want to make sure that I don't have any flour in the bottom of my bowl, so I'm just making sure it's all incorporated. And you guys, I can tell you up front, this is actually too wet. I really needed some more flour, but at this point I just kept going, following my recipe and all. But anyway, you'll see how things go from here. So yeah, after that, just let it sit for about 10 minutes. Okay, so I have washed, dried, and floured my work surface. And again, this is extremely wet dough, but I was just not paying attention. Anyway, so I went on and put it out on my work surface here. And yes, because I didn't have enough flour, I had to try to tame the beast. And that was no fun at all. But anyway, there will be a lot of hand washing, guys. There will be a lot of use of oil, cleaning workspace, all that kind of stuff when you're working with the bread. Now, flour and oil are your best friends during this process, and I incorrectly chose to use more oil, and well, that was not the right choice. Really, it was so sticky because it needed more flour. For whatever reason, this recipe just did not work like I have remembered it in the past. And so I really needed more flour. And you know, they say hindsight is 20/20. So at any rate, desperate times call for desperate measures. All right, so as I struggle along and everything, you know, I go ahead and try to get it all together because, you know, you need to kind of just work the dough. And right now I'm just trying to get it to cooperate with me. I mean, spatula, flour, I mean, like everything, this whole thing, kitchen sink. And at any rate, I get it to a point where I can finally do something with it. And then I forgot to grease my bowl. Y'all, please grease your bowl before you put your dough in it. Grease your bowl. It is a lifesaver. Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna let my dough rest and rise. And so I'm gonna put a towel over it and put it in a warm area in my kitchen. For me, I have a double oven, and one of the ovens I don't use that much, so I just stuck it in there. The oven is not on. Just put it in there and let it sit for an hour undisturbed. So after the hour, you're gonna punch it down. And you guys, this is the struggle I had because I did not grease my bowl. So basically it shouldn't have been any trouble at all here, but it was still too sticky and all of that. And so I had to work through it. And as you'll see, I kind of got frustrated with it. Ugh. Okay, anyway. Turning it over should have been easy, but anyway, we're covering it again and we're gonna let it rest again for about 20 minutes. The pans I'm using are 9x5s. This glass one says 1.5 quarts. So while my dough is resting and rising, I am greasing my pans with Crisco. You could use oil or Crisco, you know, shortening or what have you, but just get them nice and oiled up. I'm just gonna say it's gotta be an easier way, y'all. But you have to cut your dough into 4 equal pieces at this point. So basically making a cross or a T with it. I think it would have done a lot better if it wasn't so sticky. As I said before, it needed much more flour than the recipe called for today for whatever reason. So I just got tired and frustrated and just started cutting and pulling and cutting and pulling. And that's why my loaves will not be equally sized. Why did I keep going? Why did I not give up? End results. I had to keep that in my mind. So yeah, basically not being willing to give up. I just had very oiled hands and I went on and began to roll and shape my dough in a loaf shape. And basically, like I said, I was just rolling toward the inside on both sides and around, you know, just kind of, I mean, didn't take all that, but just trying to put it in the shape of a loaf. Bake for about 25 minutes. Keep an eye on it. And ta-da! Magically, they turned out absolutely great. So right here, I'm just slathering them with as much butter as I wanted to. That's the good part. And check it out. Just wonderful. Just wonderful. Not the same size, but they're still gonna be delicious. Now, this is what I should have experienced. You see how nice and fluffy it was? That's the way it would have been. But anyway, it doesn't matter because it turned out absolutely delicious. Okay, so whenever you feel like you have enough patience, give it a try. You will love it and be proud of yourself. Enjoy.